Come on, Jack.
Nice. What a film. What a round of applause. Well done. Did anyone notice the clowns' badges? I'm always hungry too. We're going to do a little Q&A with the crew, because what a fantastic cast, but I don't think any of them are here. No. So could I call upon the crew members, the DOPs, the runner, Jack, the director, because most questions will be asked to you, and anyone else who wants to take part. You have to actually work on the film, don't just draw up. Come on, boys. Don't push me off the stage. Yes. Is he good? No, is that all right? So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions myself because I'm intrigued, because I'm a writer and filmmaker myself. And then I will pan over to you lot and you can ask any questions you want. So let's make this fair. You'll be alright. Alright, so I believe we've got the director and 2 DPs, director of photography people, cinematographers, and the runner. So small round of applause, please. Nice. So boys, quick questions. I'm going to jump over Jack and go to the DPs first because I'm going to forget this question. So I've worked on a load of indies before, small budget projects and all that, and normally there's only one DP, so I'm curious why there's 2.
Well, it was all about availability, if I'm honest. So I was onto DP both days, and then I became unavailable for the second day. But Luke, who is a good friend of mine, and gaffer for the first day, and had also worked with the same cameras as us, so he kind of stepped up as DP on the second day and made the second day possible. That was the outdoor, the party scene. So I DP'd the hospital scene, and you did the rest.
Nice one. And from what I know of filmmaking, most of the times on smaller projects, the DPs are responsible for lighting equipment as well. So I assume you guys lit everything as well?
Yeah, I'll pass over to Jack to Luke in a sec. But yeah, we worked very closely together on the hospital scene. So I was always in charge of like camera angles and trying to light the kind of give the scene mood and feeling, and really immerse the audience. And then I communicated with Luke, who was the gaffer, and he made that possible. I'll pass over.
Yeah. So normally I do. Yeah, I'm just focusing on the gaffering normally, but yeah, I got to step up for a bit of DPing for that shoot. That was really cool. That was good. Yeah, normally, yeah, it is normally just the DP and the gaffer. We work quite closely. We've worked on a few things before. Yeah.
So,
it's a bit different this time.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, what is a gaffer?
Exactly.
Head of lighting. I do all the lights.
Right.
If it's light, I do it.
I tell him how I want the scene to look, and he goes and tells people and actually makes it happen. So I'm like, I want this backlight. So for example, in the hospital scene, we have a light coming through the door, which projects kind of like the shadows that you see on the back of the wall. That gives a bit of texture and a bit of colour contrast. And I said that's very nice, and then so I said that I want to achieve that look to give a bit of colour contrast and mood and tone, especially because the actual hospital scene itself is quite cold, because that's kind of the feeling we want to give the look of the film for that scene. But just that little warmth coming through the door kind of breeds a bit of hope and kindness in this very cold hospital room. So I communicated that to Luke. And then Luke and Sasha, was it? The Spark, who was helping out Luke with the lighting. They made it happen.
What is a spark for people who don't know?
Electrician.
Yes, electrician and my assistant, and basically he tells me to do things, and then I tell him to do the thing. It's great.
The hierarchy. Nice. And those scenes were well lit, so congratulations, boys.
That's good.
So going back to Jack now, the man of the moment. Nice. So how did this film come about? Where did the story come from?
Well, I was actually here not in September for The Projectionist, another film that we did, and we had a Q&A, it was great, and I came to the bar for the after party, and someone came up to me and said, "What's next?" I thought, I have no clue. I have no clue what's next. What is the next film? And we did a film about a couple of years ago called Tourette's Night that did really well on film festivals, and then we did Projectionist, and I kind of wanted to do another awareness-based topic, and I wanted to do, because I've got Tourette's, autism, OCD, as Billy would say, the
Holy Trinity.
he does say that, and I thought to myself, well, that's an autism story, but I didn't feel it would be enough. It would be enough, obviously. I wanted an extra hook, and funny enough, I wanted to, in a fantastic shop, check it out in Angel. It's called Farrington. Some of the staff are here, and one of the customers that actually came in, he was here on Sunday, Matty, and he's a retired clown, and he was talking to me about, you should do a film about clowns. I thought, let me think, and I kind of thought about what, and he was telling me about the history of what the clowns, what the effects of stereotypes that happen to clowns, and how there's not many clown jobs out there now, obviously there's so many people scared of them, or the whole idea of the stereotypes of horror, scary killer. And I kind of realised, but there's some stereotypes and misrepresentation about autism too. Why we combine those two, the character study, and that's where we kind of came from. It's like these two separate things, and we kind of combine them in this character study.
Right. So moving on to more technical questions, or interesting for me.
Let's get ready to bore some people here.
Nice. So you two as DPs, so director of photography, normally works on angles, camera angles, the amount of shots, and you do loads of paperwork beforehand to make sure your vision is there with Jack. I know on independence that a lot of the time you can't either hire because of no funds, or whatever reason you can't get camera operators and you can just stand at the back. So on this film, were you hands-on with the camera, or did you have people to do that?
So, a bit of context, there's this event called the VSC Expo that happens every year in February, and it's like just a giant networking event for all sorts of camera lighting departments. So I met a camera operator called Callum Patterson. He's here, and he, amongst the 2023 strikes, has already been unbusy. So I said to Callum, "What are you working on?" He was like, "Oh, nothing." I was like, "Oh, what are you working on?" I was like, "Oh, I've got this sort of short indie that I'm kind of working on. It's very, very topical and very like autistic awareness, which is very important." And he said, "Oh, mate, that'd be like if you want a camera operator, like I'm down." So usually I do operate myself, but on this occasion I thought it'd be nice to sit back a bit, focus on the lighting, make sure the visual storytelling is there, and let Callum do his thing. So I was very grateful for Callum coming on board. And I like that you mentioned about the lighting and stuff, because it's all part of the visual storytelling. It's not only just the camera and the lighting, it's not only just the angles and making sure, an over-the-shoulder shot so you can see people talking to each other. It's also the lighting, and it's also having that mood and that feel, and bringing that story across in a way that's more than just people speaking.
Yeah, 100%, because if you can't see what's on the shot, then you're not going to have a great film, are you? You're not going to be able to see what's going on.
Well, for the scene I kind of DP'd on the first day of the hospital scene, it needs to be cold. It needs to be like a bit uninviting, a bit like kind of dreary and lost, because after this calamity that's happened at a boy's birthday party, it's like, oh, it's a bit crap. But it's the visual storytelling for me. When they're having the conversation, having this warmth that's coming through, and visually, like subconsciously, I wanted to get a sense of warmth because of that conversation they're having. So I basically just flashed a really warm light through the door, and that seemed to work. Just a treat.
It worked, didn't it?
I think that's brilliant, because too many films now have got so much darkening you can't even see what's going on.
Exposure.
Thank you so much.
There we go. I'm gonna jump over to our production runner.
Hey.
Finally, a question for you. Production runner, production assistant, PA. So, what does a runner do?
So basically the runner does little small jobs on the set, and that could involve maybe like helping set up the scene or putting things back into place at the end of the day. It could also be helping like get some lunches or some teas and coffees for the cast and crew. And there could be a time where, say, Jack could come over or give me a text and he'd say, "Hi Bill, could you do like 4 teas and 1 coffee?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, I'm on it right away." Oh yeah, go for it.
I just want to highlight, this man is a legend. You're really underselling the role you did. You were a glue that kind of kept the crew together. You were like, people don't understand, like it's only people who work in film that will realise that, how important someone getting lunches is. Like, it's a very small and unthankful task, but it keeps the crew together. A crew runs on its stomach, so keeping them fed, keeping them watered, with dust peppers, is such a it's a thankless task and no one does it. So I'm going to say thank you.
Yeah, well said. Nice. I'm going to pass it to you guys now. Does anyone have any questions? Yellow jumper.
Yeah, my question is for the director. Firstly, I wanted to say thank you for the film. It really touched me, and the part that I enjoyed the most was how you captured the emotions in the scene. And my question to you was, could you please share how you approached working with the actors in preparation and on the set?
Cool. Well, thank you so much for that. I think for me, what I like to do is I like to get me close up with the actors. You know, obviously with this film, obviously it's a very intimate story, isn't it? It's quite a lot of dialogue about these 2 characters. What we kind of did was, at first, Ian, who plays Patch, and Leo, who played Josh, the only time they met before this was the Zoom rehearsal, Zoom read-through, table read-through. I wanted to kind of have that. I didn't want them to get to know each other too well. I wanted to kind of sound like these are 2 characters who meet to come together. So, but really what I do is we come, especially pre-production as well as on production, we kind of come from an emotional standpoint. How would you, if you were this character in this situation, what would you be feeling and how would you react? And what's great about the actors that we had is they were everyone from Ian and Josh to the 2 Andrews, Andrew Hooper, who you might know from his film. No, that's Andrew Hooper. Yeah, Andrew Hooper from Projectionist, and Andrew Wolf, who plays his dad. He was in Winnie the Pooh, Blood Hunting, which is cool. And Leo was in I Used to Be Famous on Netflix. We came up with like how, and Ben Mitchell, who plays Calvin, we spoke from an emotional point, like how can we contain this in an emotional way? How can we bring out obviously the situation of the scene, particularly as the house was saying, that was obviously such a really tough scene, because obviously not only in a very small room, in a very hot room, it was still great. Thank you to Marcus for letting us spend that. But also it's it's really, I like to get the actors' input and how they feel they like to bring their characters to life, because you know, you write the script, but then the actors, they're the ones that take the characters and they make them their own. And we like to incorporate that, so we work from that standpoint. Plus, you know, it's good to have a good working connection with your cast. You know, I recommend going out for a drink with them beforehand, so you get to know them, so you can see each other work. That's quite good. But it's really, for me, the emotional standpoint, how you can tell that.
One at the back.
The one at the back?
Yes,
hello.
you.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi. So, I was going to ask about casting as well, but you've answered it, so that's great. But my favourite part was the opening. I just thought it was beautifully shot, beautifully acted, like the nuances with Ian was just, yeah.
Well done, Luke.
But the acting as well, and the script was really strong, so you have to give yourself credit for that as well, Jack and Brody. So I guess what I want to ask is, did you have any film references going in, any films that inspired you for this?
I might put it to my DOP for that.
Yeah, so I was very closely involved with Jack from the pre-production point of this to like storyboarding and references. It sounds weird, but like I wanted to reference the horror films that do stereotype clowns, to then use like a dichotomy of opposing them. So looking at a reference and being like, we don't want it to look like that. So it was very different. It was a very different way for me to look at a way of referencing a film, because usually you say, oh, this is how we want something to look, but in this case, this is how we want something to not look, and kind of playing the opposite way there, and bringing more a bit more softness and a bit more kindness and a bit more interpersonality with it, because usually it's like really far away silhouette, dark shots, and we didn't want anything to do with that. So it was a very different way of me looking at referencing a film, which was quite interesting. And then obviously when I sadly wasn't available very last minute to DP the second day, I basically just went, here's all my stuff, here you go.
Yeah, no, my reference style was essentially what we shot on the first day. I was just like, I'm just going to make sure this looks like it's part of the same film, essentially, because mine was so last minute. So I was like, yeah, let's just do that.
You have my shot list.
Yeah. I had a
Stick
shot
to it.
list.
I had shot lists and everything. I just sent it over to him and be like, please make it look pretty, and he did.
Thank you, man.
Round of applause for Luke.
Round of applause for the science department. Camera department.
Can I just ask which one of you shot the very opening before the outside bit? You. Yeah, the opening title was my favourite bit. It was just perfect mise en scene.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Lovely film. Thank you for that. It was really really heartwarming and very moving. So the film is hoping to raise awareness about autism and about neurodivergence. So I just want to just sort of drill down a little bit into the neurodivergent performers that you found for the film, and how you found actors, and how that helped or hindered, whatever, you tell me, in the making of the film. Because it's great to see, I assume, neurodivergent actors representing neurodivergent characters, which is a wonderful thing that we should see more of. Can you talk a bit about that?
Definitely, yeah. Thank you for that, Bill. I mean, with us, it was like with Leo. I mean, I've known Leo for a couple of years now. We have a very fun relationship where he was in the Netflix film I Used to Be Famous. You might know it. He watched it, thought it was fantastic representation. Sent him a DM, loved this. Thank you for the representation. We became friends and met up, and he really wanted to do this film, so we became friends with that. And what we kind of found was, I believe if you're doing a film about the representation of any disability or diversity, you have to have someone who has that. I think it's Hollywood for so many years have cast someone for Bollywood that I never had who hasn't got that condition. And you can always tell, and I feel like it kind of devalues what you're trying to tell. Like if I was to do a film about autism and not have an autistic lead, you don't get the same performance. It's not the same. It's just not the right what you're trying to do. You need to have that full representation. So that with Harry Leo, who also wanted to bring that, was really great. And we can't. I mean, obviously, when you work in university, you need to have you need to make sure that you have you need to make sure that you have accessibility for them. Obviously, you want to make sure. Being autistic myself, I know what it's like to be because when you're on a film set, it can be very quite hot and it can be very quite crowded. So in terms of Leo, we made sure that we could get a spare quiet room on both occasions that he could go into whenever he needed some time. And he had a fantastic acting coach, Trisha Hitchcock, who works at Access Awareness. She would help him talk to him about how we can do this role and how we can do this performance. That was great. But really, I feel like I think it didn't hinder at all. I think it made it better. And obviously, working with Leo, it's great. What's great about him is you can start off just having a chat with him first, and as soon as you see action, he gets into the role and he becomes Josh, and then he comes out and becomes Leo again, which is great. And what I love about this is a lot of the people in the film were also, a lot of us were neurodivergent. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, for example, both our producers, Thomas and Reese, they're autistic as well. I've got Tourette's or OCD. Thomas, right?
I'm diagnosed ADHD, so yeah, that's neurodivergence, and
And I'm also ADHD. So
I'm autistic.
So yeah, we had a very neurodiverse, saturated crew, which was lovely because I think there's also a mind element when it comes to working with other neurodiverse people. It's just a wavelength that you just understand, and it's just like a thing you think you get, or you think you don't. and for me that was really refreshing to be on a film set with a lot of neurodiverse crew, because I could just get on with them just like that, because it's a wavelength, and getting on with Jack was so easy because we understood each other.
Love it.
Plus, we both love Dr. Pepper. I was going to quickly say, speaking of that, Sarah Lee, at the way back, who asked the question before, she actually has her own inclusive company called Inclusivity Films, and she inspired me to. We want to tell more inclusive sex as well. We want to. I want to make sure future films that there are more, new diversity on set. And I was going to say, if you get a chance, definitely talk to Sarah as well, because what she does with her Inclusivity Films is amazing as well. So just to let her know.
Got one long-winded question left. Sorry, people. So you mentioned producers. Now, I work more in TV than I do in film, so they're different. We have producers, we have executive producers, co-producers, all these different forms. So with the film, how many producers did you have in terms of producers, execs? Any difference?
We had two main producers, Thomas and Reese. Reese could make it to both the set. He was great in production. Thomas was, you were fantastic. In the film, you were fantastic, and we appreciate everything done. And I think we had those two. Then we had a whole bunch of executive producers who helped out, but they went on set. Bence was he was an extra executive producer. I think we had about 5 executive producers, but that's from the Indiegogo perk thing. But on set, we had one main producer on set, and the other producers more active in the pre-production stage.
And producers are quite a big part of filmmaking. So what do they actually do to help make your films?
Well, they helped us raise the funds on the Indiegogo. Thomas, he's a UAL student, was able to get pitch the film to UAL and be able to get extra funds for that, and they help make sure that we're on set where everything's all set up, make sure if we need anything. Locations as well, yes, helping us with locations, which is great, making sure that everyone's fair, they've got drinks as well with Bill, so you work really closely with Thomas on set, then you to kind of get the food ready and stuff.
Yeah, that's very true.
And they make, and obviously they help with the money, and also they just really, on the indie film like this, keep the bank afloat.
Nice. And finally, at the end you saw a load of names and special thanks, mine included. Why do these people get credits at the end of the films? What do they do?
Well, it's either they either really helped with help me, and especially they might family or friends that help with pre-production, maybe family, friends, or people that helped in the 3 stages: production, pre-production, production, post-production, kind of helping inspire us to make films. They might, for example, you might saw there's a group of people from Farah. They always get special thanks in my films because they always help. They give us costumes and stuff for the shops, and they've always given me support that I need to push to make these films. So, Louise, Sarah, thank you for the support you give me, pushing me to make these films. And I appreciate that. People who have really want to contribute, whether it's financially or really just helped us, whether it's like, you can use that. For example, Curtis. He let us use his house for the garden and bedroom and that. My sister has always helped with all my films, and she always gets special thanks. And everyone, so basically, it's people who have helped out in those 3 stages and have really inspired us. And also, we gave Rachel as a special thanks because Thomas helped get ordered the food, so they came last day. And Art House because they always allow us to rent the screen. So thank you, Art House.
I think that's it. Thank you very much to our panel. Round of applause one more time.
So I was going to say, now we're going to go into the bar to have there's some drinks, that we can buy some drinks,
Could we not just have a festival of all your films at some point?
That sounds like a great idea.
Maybe, but some of them are really dated now in terms of how we film them,
I haven't seen them all.
I'll send them to you, don't worry. That Shia LaBeouf, I should be dead quiet, that Shia LaBeouf did. But basically, what I was going to say is, the bar, we are thankfully things on our house. We are allowed to use the bar. So please help get us drinks and have fun, network, mingle. Also, by the beer garden, there's a poster of the film. I put that there for anyone who wants to get photos in front of the poster. So please feel free to do that. And if you do take photos, tag us on that, please.
Round of applause.